Okay guys, so for today we're going to cover the next kind of tuplets, which are quintuplets. That's fitting 5 notes into a 4 subdivision. So it's like 16th notes being a 4 subdivision. And then we're squeezing 5 notes into that same space. And then septuplet, which is to fit 7 notes into the 4 subdivision. And then we're going to continue using our chromatic solfege, changing keys within a melody. So we're going to have another example, singing a song that forces us to flip our solfege various times throughout. All right, so here we are with rhythm number 1. We are in 3/4 meter. And as I'm scanning through, I'm watching for the rhythmic elements. So my first 2 beats of the first full measure is a quarter note and 2/8, followed by 8th note triplet. Pretty good. So far, so good. Quarter and 2/8, followed by 4/16 notes. So we have a little progression going, right? 3 triplets, then to 4/16 notes. Then we have 2/8, 4/16 notes, and then a quintuplet. So for the quintuplet, I like to get out of tiki-tikis, and I like to actually use funny words. Like, I use hippopotamus. If you think about it, hippopotamus has 5 syllables. Hippopotamus, 5. And so if you say hippopotamus really fast in the time of a single beat, then you'll get a quintuplet. Perfect quintuplet. Works every time. Okay, looking ahead. Quarter note, quarter rest. 8th note triplet. 2/8 notes and an 8th note triplet, followed by 4/16 notes. Same thing, 2/8 notes, 8th note triplet, followed by quintuplet. So there's your hippopotamus again. Next line, we got 2/8 notes and then 4/16 notes and then quintuplet. Then a quarter note and a quarter rest. And then the second part of that measure has an 8th note triplet leading into the next phrase. 2/8 notes, 8th note triplet, 16th notes. 8th note triplet, 16th notes, quintuplet. So you can see that this exercise is kind of leading up to quintuplets gradually, right? You have 2/8 notes, then triplet, then 16th notes, and then triplet, then 16th notes, then quintuplet. And then the ending, we're going backwards. Quintuplet, 4/16 notes, 3 8th note triplets, and then a quarter note for the end. All right, this is going to be pretty slow, so let's set our metronomes to 63. That's the way we can say quintuplet in the space of a beat. And let's go ahead and do it. Ti ti ta, ti ti triola ta, ti ti tiki tiki ti ti tiki tiki hippopotamus ta, triola ti ti tiola tiki tiki ti ti triola hippopotamus ti ti tiki tiki hippopotamus ta. Triola ti triola tiki tiki, triola tiki tiki, hippopotamus, hippopotamus, tiki tiki, triola ta. Okay, now we are into the second rhythm, and this one is in 2/4 meter. So 2/4 meter doesn't break down. It's the smallest metrical unit. So I just boxed the whole measure. So the first measure, we're in forte dynamic, and we have a quarter note and 2/8 notes. 2/8 notes and 4/16 notes, followed by a whole rest measure. Then we're going to go to pianissimo, and we've got 4/16 notes and then 8 30-second notes. So to do those, I'm going to say tiki tiki the same as I count 16th notes, but I'm just going to do it faster, okay, twice the speed. So if I were to look at this measure starting from the pianissimo 4/16 notes, I go tiki 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 tiki. Same thing happens in reverse in the next measure. Tiki, 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 tiki. Okay, so don't be thrown off by the 30-second notes. You're just going to say tiki, tiki twice as fast as you would for 16th notes. All right, then I have a whole measure rest. And here again, I have tiki, 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 tiki. Okay. The reason they're doing that is to show that you can fit 8 beats into, so 8 30-second notes into one beat. And then when you get to the next line and you have your septuplets, then it shows you can have 7 16th notes fitting into one beat. And to do that, I like to use the phrase 1 mushroom olive pizza. Okay, one mushroom olive pizza. That makes 7 syllables. If you say one mushroom olive pizza in the space of a single beat, you will get a perfect septuplet every time, I guarantee it. Next bar is a whole rest. And then again, one mushroom olive pizza, one mushroom olive pizza. And then regular 16th notes. And we're crescendoing this whole time. We have a rest, and then we get to forte, 4 16th notes, 2 8th notes, and a quarter note at the end. Okay, this one is really slow. 46 beats per minute. Let's set our metronomes and let's practice. Ta, ti, 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 tiki, tiki. Tiki, 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 tiki. Tiki, 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 tiki. One mushroom olive pizza, one mushroom olive pizza. One mushroom olive pizza, one mushroom olive pizza. Tiki, 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 tiki. Tiki, tiki, ti, ti, ta. All right, now we're getting into the melodic portion of the assignment. And I've devised a little etude. You can see in the beginning, it's all thirds. So, do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol. And then here, from the sol, I have a dominant 7th outlined, kind of like in like a 5-6-5 position, right? So sol, fa, re, ti. Ti is kind of the bass note, if I were thinking of an arpeggio. Sol, fa, re, ti. And that makes a dominant 7th. And then if I take the same notes, ti, re, fa, but instead of going to sol, I go to le, then I get a diminished 7th. So the relationship between the dominant 7th and the diminished 7th is very close. They share 3 notes. The only difference is that sol is in the dominant 7th, but sol is not in the diminished 7th. Instead of that, we have le, 1/2 step higher than sol. Okay, so it's sol, fa, re, ti, re, fa, le, sol, mi, fa, sol, do. Okay, I didn't have a video of me performing this, so I'll just do it right now. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, re, ti, re, fa, le, sol, mi, fa, sol, do. Okay, now we're going to do another example of an actual song. Okay, so no 2 short melodies here. Instead of that, I'm going to put a whole song for us to practice, and I've devised an accompaniment as well. So we'll do the same drill as for prepared performance number 4. This song is by Schubert. It's called Täuschung. I have no idea what that means. Not important. What we're focusing on is the solfege. So you can see in the beginning, we've got all the piano is setting up the key for us, getting us ready to go, and we enter by the 2nd line. And we're in A major and 6/8. And so the first phrase in A major there, it starts on mi. Mi, mi, do, sol. All tonic, right? Mi, mi, do, sol. Sol, sol, fi, sol, la, sol. And there, that fi is a chromatic embellishing tone. It is not part of a tonicization. If you look at the piano part, we have an A major triad. So that D sharp is not supported by a B dominant 7th, for example, as an applied chord. It's simply an embellishing tone, a beautiful embellishing tone to sol. Okay? Mi, mi, do, sol, 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 fi, sol, la, sol. So that's a pretty straightforward tune. I think you guys can handle it. Next section. Here we do have an applied chord. From sol, we go to si, la, si, la. Okay, so E sharp. Sol is E in the key of A major. E sharp will be C and goes to F sharp, la. Si, la, and you can see if you look at the piano accompaniment, that is harmonically supported by a C sharp dominant seventh. Si, la, and it tonicizes 6. La, Ti keeps going, do, ti, do, mi, re, do. We go right back to A major. So that's why we call that a tonicized chord. We tonicized 6 briefly, but as part of a larger progression still in the tonic. All right, that makes the first 2 phrases of the song, and luckily for us, it repeats itself. So mi, mi, do, sol, 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 fi, sol, la, sol, same as the first phrase. And then the same thing pretty much. There's a small variation, but si, and again, si, la, ti, do, mi, do, sol, ti, do. So the cadence is a little different, but overall it's pretty much identical to the first 2 phrases that we did in the song. The second 2 phrases, same thing. Okay, now we get into a little bit more chromaticism. Actually, if you notice this, me, do, re. So we actually go to A minor, the tonic minor here. Me, so we have to sing the minor solfege. Do, re, me, sol, me, re. Okay, so those 2, 3 measures there are in A minor. That's the first time we have to flip our solfege. And it's not really flipping because we're still in the tonic. We just sing the minor solfege of the tonic A major. Now we're going to start flipping. So we've ended on re. Me, sol, me, re. Now we're going straight to E major. Sol, la, sol, sol, fi, fi, fa, la, sol, mi. Okay, so that's a little tricky. Sol, la, sol, sol, fi, fi, fa, la, sol, mi. You just have to watch the chromaticism between sol, fa, sol, fi, and fa going down. Okay? But otherwise, it's all in E major. So even though you see like a C sharp at the beginning of that yellow boxed phrase, first of all, C sharp is in the key of A major already. They just put it in as a courtesy because we're coming from A minor. So technically, that's not a chromatic note. So the only chromatic note that we have to deal with is the A sharp. And again, that's Fi in the context of E major. And it goes down to Fa, which ultimately resolves to Mi at the end of that little melody with some embellishing tones. Now we stay in E major. Mi, fa, fa, fi, fi, sol. And we're sort of back up, right? We go back up through fi to sol. And then we switch our solfege to re, re, mi, do, sol, because we're going back to the tonic. So in the second line of the second system, the blue box, the first 2 bars of that, we sing that first B as sol in E major, and it's harmonized by E major. And sol, and then I say re, re. And take a look at that left-hand part. I have E, G sharp, and B sharp. That is an augmented triad. There it is. See, all those augmented chords I do in class, they're not to waste. There's an E augmented triad right there. And then we sing re, mi, do, sol, 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 fi, sol, la, sol. Same thing as the beginning. Si, la, ti, do, mi, re, do. So that's all the same as the beginning. Mi, ti, do, mi, do, sol, ti, do. So there we have just a little ending, like a cadence. All right, so we pretty much come back to the beginning melody, so you don't have to relearn all that. It's just a little different tag for the final cadence. Mi, mi, ti, do. If you look in the yellow box, the end of the first system, notice that when I sing mi, it's actually harmonized with a C sharp dominant 7th in 4/3 position. And it resolves to F. So we have an applied chord there to 6 again. Ooh, red tractor. We have an applied chord to 6 again. But this time we don't sing any chromatic notes, so we don't have to flip our solfege or anything. Mi, mi, ti, do, mi, do, sol, ti, do. And then we're done. All right, so let's try and sing it. Mi, mi, do, sol, 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 fi, sol, la, sol. Si, la, ti, do, mi, re, do. Mi, mi, do, sol, 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 fi, sol, la, sol. Si, la, ti, do, mi, do, sol, ti, do. Me, do, re, me, sol, me, re. Sol, la, sol, sol, fi, fa, la, sol, mi. Mi, fa, fi, sol, sol, re, mi. Do, sol, sol, fi, sol, la, sol. Si, la, ti, do, mi, re, do. Mi, ti, do, mi, do, sol, ti, do.